So, problem. So, welcome to this another webinar on Klishta Vritti and Aklishta Vritti. Changing from Klishta Vritti to Aklishta Vritti. I think we have already had a round of introduction of all the people who are present here today. So we will not repeat. Yesterday we have known each other. We only have Karina again, who is Bankimji's wife. So Vaishali and Shrishti
Hello.
introduced themselves
Namaste.
yesterday. They have both been with me in this courses that I conduct on yoga and Vritti changing technique. Both of them have learned the technique and they are using it. But they are always very eager to learn. So I'm thankful
How
to them that I have
nice.
students who wants to learn from me again and again.
Yes, how lovely.
Yes, very much.
Yes.
Okay, let me share a few slides to begin with. Okay. So today we are going to look at how Klishta Vritti can be changed to a Klishta Vritti. And obviously, before that, what is a Klishta Vritti and what is an Aklishta Vritti? Shrishti might know these words, right? Vaishali, do you know these? I don't know. You haven't come across these terms. It's okay. I know that you are not so much into yoga to have known these words, but I just wanted to check. But what we are going to do is not going to get into the Yoga Sutra. Again, these terms are from the Yoga Sutra. We will not get into the technicalities of it. We will again look at these concepts from a very, very practical point of view. So really a fact check thing by looking at our own self. So welcome all of you to this webinar on Klishta and Aklishta Vritti. Whatever is the category you put yourself into, whatever may be your Vritti, you are capable of doing this. You are going to be, you will find these workshops worthy for you, and you will find that, yes, there is something for you to learn and change. We all want to live life like this, wherever we are at this time in life, we want to be living life fully. And how to do it? One more way is to recognize our Klishta Vritti and change them into Aklishta Vritti. What is Vritti? Vritti is the sense you make of whatever your senses have gathered the information in your mind. So the meaning you make out of your knowledge coming to you from the senses. So are we knowing what is going on in our mind at any given time? I am not interested in asking you to technically understand the Vritti. But what is important is that how much we are able to access it. Do we have the knowledge and skill to stop any thoughts and feelings? Because Vritti means function. Chitta Vritti is what we are talking about. And that means the function of the mind. There are two functions of the mind, thoughts and feelings. And therefore, you find all these questions here are about thought and feeling. So have we gained clarity on what to stop and when to stop in the mind? Do we possess the will to change our thoughts and feelings? If we are considering a few of these questions, we will find that we are actually paying attention to our own self. Let me show you a few slides that I have on a PDF. how to change afflicted view or a klishta vritti to a healthy one or a klishta vritti. So in short, I have already told you what is klishta vritti and what is a klishta vritti, right? Afflicted vritti is klishta and healthy one is a klishta. Afflicted means it is kind of, negative. In some way or the other, not beneficial to us, not really desirable, not that which is going to make our life any good. It is going to, in some way, pollute and spoil it and discolor our mind. So that is called klishta vritti. Whereas the opposite of that, that which is clean, healthy, keeping us happy, joyful, positive, is called aklishta vritti. So, what we normally do with klishta vritti is just kind of avoid them, ignore them, or deviate from them. Whereas what I am suggesting is let's change the klishta vritti to a klishta one. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that. So vritti in yoga means functions of the mind. Thinking, knowing, understanding are the main functions of the mind. At any time, there can be only one vritti in the mind. So all of us who think about multitasking, simultaneously doing things, sorry, doesn't happen. The mind can hold only one vritti at one time. In fact, in yoga, the definition of mind is that which can do only one thing at a time. Okay, so thus vritti remains only temporarily. One goes when the next one comes. And kleshas are afflictions of the mind, namely misconceptions, I-ness, attachment, hatred, and fear. Yes, kleshas in yoga are numbered 5, are categorized into 5 groups. Some of them are called misconceptions, wrong notions, misunderstanding, misrepresentation, getting things wrong. I-ness, a lot of identification with things that are not you, not yours, but as yours. Attachment, we understand attachment, too many likes and attached to something that, this was such a wonderful experience, I want it again. That's attachment. And opposite to that is hatred. No, I don't like it. I never want it again. Yes, trying to run away from it or push it away from you. And also fear. All kind of afflictions can be categorized under one or the other of these 5. And if they fall under this, we have to change them to their opposite. Now, one thing is that all the time we are not under the effect of all of these. Some may be active or inactive, but unlike vritti, they are always present. Vritti is temporary, it comes and goes. And to this vritti, if klesha, the afflictions get attached to, then it will hold on to that. But that is not just vritti, then it is klishta vritti. Okay? So kleshas are integral part of our mind. They are always there. But when they are active, then they may make the vritti klishta. I don't know if this was understood. When knowing is associated with ego, with likes or dislikes or fear, it is called klishta vritti. Okay? I'll share a few examples to explain what I'm trying to say. You come to know that some people die after vaccination for COVID-19, and you're afraid of taking the vaccine, fearing to be among the small number who die. Large majority did not die, no? It was a pandemic situation. And most people did not even get affected, And most people who got infected did not necessarily die. But still, we are afraid. We were also afraid because some people died of vaccination. We wanted to count ourselves among those few, and those who did that did not want to take vaccination. There was fear. This knowing is accompanied with fear. Hence, this is a klishta vritti. You have this knowledge, no? That people die after taking vaccination. I may also die if I take the vaccine. That is called klishta vritti. Another example. Say you have no job. You ask your father for money, which he generally gives. But this time he refuses. And you develop aversion towards him. Bad. Now I'm never going to ask him for money. You're so hurt and insulted. The knowledge that father can even refuse to give you money got associated with the feeling of aversion. Yes, once he refused, all the 100 times he gave you, but once that he refused, you remember that and you hold it against your father and never want to ask money. You will tell somebody else to ask for you, but you will not ask. Yes, this is aversion. So this is also making your knowledge that father refuses to give money as klishta vritti. Vritti gives you knowledge, no? So the knowledge can be a klishta. You met a new group of people and you enjoyed their company. You felt happy and decided to repeat this experience again and again. The desire for getting this experience again and again made the knowledge of the new group of people, our fun, got associated. Attachment. I want this again, I want this again, I want this again. And you keep seeking it. That makes it klishta. The fact that these people are fun, this knowledge becomes klishta because you got stuck to it. I want it again. Another example, let's look at. Say you were going to the building gate to pick up your grocery delivery. Your aged neighbors requested you to also pick up their medicines kept with the watchman. You felt important and did it. They praised your effort and your good feeling and showered a lot of gratitude. You felt proud and walked around with swollen chest, telling others in the house and talking to people on the phone that you helped your neighbor by doing this. Now, this knowledge that you did a praiseworthy act got you associated with your I-ness, identifying with it. This is making that knowledge klishta vritti. So, I think I skipped one page. I'll come to this slide a little later. Tell me, what questions arise in your mind at this point? Any questions, any thoughts? You can unmute and speak. I like all three of you, four of you, to say something, whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah, I feel that we are always affected by klishta. I think as we are living a normal life, we are perpetually under the influence of some
Attending a webinar.
klesha or klishta.
Attending a webinar.
Okay. Yes, they are always there. And I don't think we can anytime get away from there. if we can let go the thought when it goes and not go after it, then it is Aklishta. But if we want that thought to remain with us, then it becomes Klishta. Yes, we are
Just a question that would karma yoga and prasad buddhi help in removing this?
yes. In fact, that's what Yoga Sutra says. That for working upon Klishta Vritti to change them to a Klishta Vritti, the way out is Kriya Yoga, which in Bhagavad Gita is referred to as Karma Yoga. But there is a slight difference in the way they present it. But ultimately, the process is similar. And that's what the rest of the slide was. So where I stopped just now. So having presented a problem, I wanted you people to speak of the problem as you understand. So I can go further and give you probably more concrete way out. What do you
I'll
want?
say now. Namaste. After hearing all this, I have not really been exposed to any of these terms or any of these spiritual, not even really the Gita chapters or anything.
Yeah.
But I do know one thing, that when you mentioned the difference between klishta vritti and aklishta vritti, I do know that I'm accumulating or trying to accumulate more of aklishta vritti than klishta vritti, and it's coming very naturally.
Okay. Accumulation is klishta.
Oh God. Okay.
Letting go is aklishta.
Okay. So I am trying to let go of my klishta vritti, and maybe that's the way to put it. And trying to
Exactly.
see that my klishta vrittis reduce
Right.
and aklishta vrittis increase.
Yes,
That
this is what very often commonly people do. What I am suggesting, because both the vrittis are vibrations, are energies. And energy can be transformed from one form to another. So the energy of klishta vritti can be changed and utilized as a klishta vritti. So the two don't have to be worked upon separately. Every time you recognize that klishta is happening, means you are getting attached. It's getting stuck. You want it again and again. That is the time, just remove that wanting. And it becomes, because its basic nature is a klishta. We, with our stupid ways, we make it klishta. So really speaking, a klishta is when we stop interfering.
Got it.
It's actually that simple.
Very
Don't
simple.
do what you're doing.
Got it.
And it's called karma yoga on top of it.
Okay.
So there is that little kind of a catch. And that is what I want to talk of today.
Okay.
You actually provided me the incline to give away. Thank you. So nice that you are present here.
So happy to be present here. I'm enjoying every word that you're saying.
Let's hear. Vaishali wanted to say something.
Ma'am, actually, what I'm experiencing is the attachment of a klishta vritti than the I-ness or something, like, I mean, I think it is human to get attached to a lot of things, as we are born in a society, in the social being. You tend to get attached
How
with a lot of
convenient to
things.
say it's human to get attached. Very convenient.
No. I mean, it's a default system where we
I
can
am sorry.
definitely,
That's not default.
because
The default is
uh,
Aklishta.
but then I think we tend to be klishta with
We
the
trained
attachment.
ourselves in avidya. Wrong.
Maybe basically because there are a lot of things when you tend to detach yourself, or you tend to not detach actually, but tend to get attached to something else
Correct.
while getting this thing. There are a lot of things that go into your mind. Maybe because we are more bothered about, like, for example, if I'm attached to a particular person in my life, and I feel that if instead of that, if that attachment, if I take it somewhere else, the attachment still remains, but with the gain of upliftment in my own spiritual way. So if I change that attachment from that person to God, from person to the supreme, where that klishta vritti is becoming aklishta,
A
where I
little,
know that there
huh,
is something which has got some meaning
yeah. What
somewhere.
you are
But
saying is partially true.
when I'm doing this process, people around me will, अरे पागल हो गई क्या, मतलब तू यार जो जिसके साथ बात कर सकती है, जिसके साथ रह सकती है, जिसके साथ तेरा ये है, you want to detach yourself. They are not seeing my attachment somewhere else. They are saying, they are only seeing the detachment, because
If
they are
it
not trained
is
to see the.
vritti, if it is
Hmm,
vritti, it is only in your mind.
hmm,
It is not seen by others. What you are doing
yeah,
is only modifying the outer expression in your behavior.
that is why it
You
is
are
being reflected.
modifying your behavior.
Hmm,
Let me tell you, I haven't removed that behavior tree diagram, but all the same, I
hmm,
think it's easy to visualize. A tree
yeah,
consists of roots, a trunk, branches,
hmm,
flowers, leaves, and fruits. Okay.
hmm,
The leaves, flowers, and fruits are the behavior. So what you
hmm,
see, the larger part of the tree is the behavior, and behavior is the last thing to be expressed.
hmm,
The leaves, etc., flowers, and everything are attached to the branches, right? Twigs and
hmm,
branches. They are the attitude.
hmm.
From your attitude, your behavior is directed,
Yes,
produced,
yes.
right? So your attitude is responsible. The type of your attitude, that is the kind of your behavior. The branches, twigs, etc., they are arising from the trunk
Hmm.
of the tree. The trunk of the tree is your value system. The value system that you uphold. कि जो संस्कार मिले हैं, जो हमने बचपन से सीखा है. What you consider as normal, as you said, as human, it is normal to get attached. This is the value system from which arises those various attitudes. And from that arises the behavior.
The behavior.
And what are the roots then? The roots are your true motive, the real motive of your life. And if you work at changing the leaves and the fruits and the flowers, the real change has not occurred.
No,
If you
that's
change
so
the
true.
attitude, still the real change has not occurred. Even if you change your value system that you have acquired, it is acquired. The real change is not occurred. The real is your true motive. I am doing this because of avidya. because I wrongly understand that this is important, that this is what being human is. I'm doing this because I have thought of it. I have decided to do it. It is my way of doing things. I identify with it. I may do it because I like it. I may do it because I don't want to do something else. And therefore, I hate that. And therefore, I have no other choice but to do this. Or I'm doing it out of fear. कि ये नहीं करूंगी तो कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. Any of this doing is arising out of the vritti that is not going to liberate you, not beneficial. That is binding.
Yes.
And therefore, that is not what is the purpose of yoga. It is a klishta vritti. Means all your perceptions that are helping you in these directions are klishta. So any of your perceptions that lead you to this kind of a behavior, that is a klishta vritti product. Because everything begins in the mind.
Correct.
Because you have changed only your outer behavior, that is why people are able to see it and criticize it, and you're affected because the change is only outside. But if you were to change from inside, you would have leaves, flowers, fruits which are of the appropriate kind. अब वो झाड़ तो आम का है, उसके ऊपर आपने टमाटर लगा दिए, तो वो टमाटर की तारीफ नहीं हो सकती ना, क्योंकि बाकी झाड़ उसे मैच नहीं कर रहा है, तो क्रिटिसाइज होता है. और तुमको वो क्रिटिसिज्म पसंद नहीं है. अच्छा ठीक है, टमाटर नहीं पसंद तो मैं बैंगन लगा देती हूँ, बैंगन नहीं पसंद तो मैं दूधी लगा देती हूँ. नहीं चलेगा. झाड़ तो आम का ही रहा ना. तो आम के झाड़ के ऊपर आम होगा तो लोग उधर आम के लिए ही जाएंगे. वो टमाटर को देख के फिर आम के झाड़ की बुराई नहीं करेंगे. आम का झाड़ तो ऐसा ही होता है. So the real change has to happen from within. So our motives have to be clear. And our motives can only be clear if our thought process, our thinking is right, our perception is true, exactly the way it is. And our perception of ourselves is also honest.
Yes.
तो खाली हम बाहरी दिखाने के लिए यदि करेंगे तो ये mismatch होगा ही. Therefore, emotional balance first. We do this because we are emotionally involved and attached. So let us not do such things. Okay. Shrishti has written something in the chat. I'm in love with the technique. So one-step solution for all the problems. And examples are very much relatable. Okay, thank you. Got it, Vaishali?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Let me continue with the slide share. Bankimji, what you said about Karma Yoga. We will sincerely do Karma Yoga. And Vaishali, if you really want to move away from this human attachment that you call, then the transformation has to be like this one. From here to here. That drastic. Metamorphosis. You know, no? What happens to this?
Yes.
The larval organs are disintegrated. And that same material is made use of to make a butterfly. So what you are trying to do, this one, instead of this branch, it goes on to another branch. Or maybe another plant. Will it help?
Yes, ma'am. No.
Without going through this, it will not help. You've already seen that it doesn't help.
Yes.
in what you shared. You have already seen. So,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. Thank you for sharing. And therefore, the way out is dimag ka duster. Without clearing, without cleaning, things will not happen. वृत्ति चेंज करने के लिए वृत्ति का अवेयरनेस और फिर ये मालूम होना चाहिए कि कहाँ तक कितना क्या चेंज करना है. Okay, I will skip these slides as nobody is really new over here. Everyone knows this about me now. So I'm going to skip these slides so that I can probably have some more conversation with you all and answer if there are any questions. Yes, Vritti changing technique. You understand why I'm talking about Vritti change? That from larva to pupa and from pupa to butterfly. What one thing that has to first happen is all change happens in the mind. No change occurs in life without happening twice. Every transformation first has to happen in the mind, and then it happens outside in life, in physical world. So without it happening in the mind, it cannot happen outside. So vritti is in your mind. Unless and until that gets purified, any amount of action will be like what you said, Vaishali, कि वो सब गड़बड़ी जाएगा, यहाँ का वहाँ का यहाँ, it only gets more complicated. So this is the fact that we have to know and remember, and then work around it. Oh, sorry, I shared it from another slide. Okay, so have personally undergone transformation myself, and therefore I choose to share this. Okay, Krina is here today only, no? So I will have to repeat this. This is very, very important. Vritti, what we consider mostly is that happens in the head, right? But there are three parts to it. A vritti has contribution from head, from hand, and from heart. Yes, our experiences also that we have forms vritti, right? So thinking, knowledge, understanding, etc. is what happens from the head. Behavior, speaking, etc. that happens from hand being a representative here. And feelings and emotions happen from the heart. Unless and until all these three are integrated, no karma yoga, no tapaswadhyaya ishwar pranidhan is possible. We cannot even get proper access to vrittis unless and until these three are integrated. And also, one very important statement, you take it from me, everything that you plan and you design and you prepare yourself for, you find that you cannot always execute it 100%. You can execute only as much as your feelings are in tune with it, because feelings are the real driving force. Emotions have a lot of power. And unless and until the head and the heart are in sync with each other, our speech and action will go haywire. And that is when you will find that people find a mismatch with you and things don't go all right for you. Emotions, when not educated, not in tune with the head, they are like wildcat. When they are properly educated and you are able to access it, use it the way you want it, use it as much as you want it, means you regulate. वो कहना गुस्सा करे बिना वो काम नहीं करेगा, but just do only that much गुस्सा कि काम हो जाए. And that also you don't have to become angry. You only have to show that anger and meaningfully. So becoming angry is not at all welcome. Then that is no karma yoga at all. So things appear and their appearance keep changing for us. How do they change? According to our emotions. एक शायद चाय का या कॉफी का कोई एक एड आता है, मैंने देखा है, wherein this man is entering the office and that peon kind of by accident hits against him, and that tea falls on his shirt. And this man is angry, so then he shouts back. And at another time, when the same thing happens, he says, "Tumhara to haath nahi jal gaya na?" Now, the situation was the same, the people were the same, and nothing has changed about them. But what had changed was, the second time he was in a good mood, the first time he was not in a good mood. So our emotions change our perception of everything. And we see magic and beauty in things when our perceptions are happening with emotions that are positive and quiet, calm, peaceful, joyful, and so on. So imagine how easy it is to make this world a beautiful place. Anything and everything, we look at it from its positive side, life would be beautiful. The world will be beautiful. When we are able to make this change from klishta vritti to aklishta vritti, people around you will seem all honest and quiet and peaceful and truthful and serious and hardworking and everything as you want it. You will yourself feel more confident in any situation. However tough the situation may seem, whatever faces you will always be the same. Neither tough looks tough and nor easy looks easy. You find that you are able to face it with equanimity. And pain, no stress. Pain, when I say, it means social, emotional, physical, physiological, any kind of pain. Even spiritual pain is included. And you can get relief from this by the simple way that I am suggesting. And this happens because you have improved sensitivity towards your body and mind. So before it gets spoiled, when it is changing, you are able to sense it and you are able to correct it and change it. So that is what I am asking you people to consider. So, okay, this is later on. Let me stop this and continue with that other slides. So, what is the way out from all those negative klishta ones? The way out is tapaswadhyaya and Ishwar Pranidhan, suggests Patanjali. And when you practice tapaswadhyaya Ishwar Pranidhan, it weakens the association, this attachment that happened, stuck condition that happened, the bondage that happens, it starts becoming weaker and weaker. So Karina, that you were saying that you are accumulating that and removing this, what you're doing is weakening the negative and strengthening the positive. And the moment these attachments, these stuck things, these kleshas become weaker, your association with them becomes less and it reduces your suffering in life. Now, what does tapa do? Will it really help me? Am I doing the right thing? How to find out? How to do? These are the questions that will be answered for you individually when you take to do personal VCT. Yes, personal sessions in VCT will remove whatever personal doubts you may have, whatever confusions you may have about life and further progress in life, and what is it that I should do, how I could change myself, because life is constantly changing. Life situations are constantly changing. We need to adapt to the newer changes. The changes that used to happen take 10 years, 10 years ago, are now happening in 5 years. The rate at which changes are happening is much, much faster today. All of a sudden, the whole world started using internet and Zoom and everything, right? When I know as a teacher for last 10 years, when computers were introduced, I was, had to beg and plead to my teachers that please learn to use the computer. No, we cannot type, and we are not typist, and all this they would say. And they were not wanting to learn. And overnight they learned when this corona happened, because there was no way. They cannot continue to be in the field. They cannot continue to earn if they did not have technology at hand. Yes. So all this kind of things, do we want to wait for a calamity for us to change? No. We must preempt and adapt soon. And when we are stuck in these kind of thing, not getting proper answers, we want to go to someone who can help. We feel that there's nobody who can help us in this, and only I am alone suffering it. That's not the case. Please remember, Suchitra Parekh is there, and she can help you find your answers. Suchitra does not have all the answers, but I definitely know there are principles and there are guidelines which have led me to find all my answers, and I will leave no stone unturned to help you find your answers, because the answer lies really within our own self. My answer, while I was looking outside, I could not find any answer that was proper and long lasting. There was no answer that was giving definite, lasting joy and happiness. But when I found the answer within me, when the roots got changed, when the motives got changed, when my perception changed, then all of these stuck conditions were out. And let me tell you, it is very easy to work upon these. All these tiny irritants of the day has to be first removed. And then whatever other past sanskaras that are affecting us, that are not allowing us to do our best, if they can be removed. Believe me, for anything one for that moment of time takes only 5 minutes to shift. If you are having a pain just now, you work on yourself, detach the pain will reduce, will go away, when as long as you have kept your vritti positive and aklishta. The moment you get back into klishta vritti, it will take a little while, but then that pain will come back. So, but what will happen is, if you repeatedly remove it, repeatedly weaken it, then one day it will just dissolve, demolish, and will become part of the soil. It will not affect you again then. But till then, you have to continuously weaken and weaken and weaken and reduce and reduce and reduce. And it is easy to do technique. Vritti changing technique can be done instantly, anytime, anywhere, without using a mat. It's a new kind of a yoga. You don't have to have restrictions कि अभी खाना खाया है तो नहीं कर सकते, या अभी सो के उठे हैं तो नहीं कर सकते, ये सुबह ही करना है, रात को ही करना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and it takes hardly any time to attend to it. I think it is a worthwhile thing. If we clean our house every day, if we clean our body every day, the mind collects so much more of negative and stress. Even that needs cleaning every day. So, are you doing this? Say thank you to yourself. Tell me, how else can I help you? What else can I say?
Ma'am, you already gave us this technique which I am following into my day-to-day life also. And very happy that I think I had shared once in our group that I had some kind of acidity and pain in my stomach, and where I had vomiting.
Okay.
And I was lying down and I was doing the technique without using those particular points,
Yeah.
because I had no energy left to even do that.
Okay.
And after that, I did continue doing with the points. I did do it, and today I don't suffer from acidity, stomach ache, vomiting, of
Okay.
any sort of disease up till now. I have not done, and
Wow.
see to it. I see to it that I do this when I feel ki, okay, tomorrow if I'm eating something which may cause acidity, so I keep myself prepared for it, and I don't fall ill due to acidity.
Very nice. Very happy to know that. Very happy to know that.
This is a miraculous medicine that I've got, I guess so. And it was
It is
all this
miraculous. That
time,
is no doubt.
and it. I was so unaware of it that it was with me. I never had to go and search any doctor or take somebody's appointment and go and do some endoscopy and etc. 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 to know what is going on in my stomach. It is I who could cure myself
Correct.
with the right technique that you showed me.
So happy to hear that.
Suchita, I
Yes,
probably
Guliaji.
think that probably there is a misunderstanding amongst the participants that it was a one-off session. Because so if you can clarify it on
I
the
will.
group that it.
Yes. You can also write down in the webinar
Yeah.
group. You can write your experience over there so people will get it.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe exactly, because people I feel are thinking that the same sessions are going to be done on 3 days, like,
In fact, I thought because I've given them different names.
Yeah, that actually made me feel that I should do it for the second day also.
Yes,
I
I'm
finished all my
ultimately going
work.
to say the same thing. Come down to changing your vritti. That part will be the
Yes,
same. But the contexts are all different.
yes,
This
yes.
can also be changed, this can also be changed, this can also be changed, is what I'm trying to say. And
Yes,
the method
ma'am.
is just one.
For me, it was a very new experience, and
You
I
are,
really enjoyed
you're
it.
not audible.
Oh,
Now speak.
yeah, for me, it was a very, very new and nice experience, and I really enjoyed it, Suchita. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I'm
much for
happy.
listening to me, giving me your presence here. Otherwise, you always escape.
I'm so happy. So happy. So much to learn.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
I
so
continue
much.
to exist because of people like you who keep coming
Oh,
back to me.
yeah.
I think which year was it when we did the 21-day course there? 90, 91, 92 something, right?
Yeah. No, I think it must be before that.
In 90s, I think.
Then
Because
it has to be after that, is because from 94, na?
Born in 90.
My daughter was born in 90.
okay.
The next daughter was born in 93. So between 90 and 93 we done.
So that's what I think. 91, 92 is what I said.
Yes.
So Vaishali, she did the small 21-day program I had done at Greenlawn School where I was teaching. She attended that
Okay.
in 1991.
Oh.
But she's afraid to come to the yoga, anything called yoga.
Ma'am,
Her sister is deeply into it. She's a trained yoga teacher and she goes around teaching yoga to everybody except her own sister.
And she keeps telling me, just come for 5 days and you'll get addicted. So I said, oh yeah. She said, your body will get so used to it that you won't want to stop.
No, I will not say that. Vaishali is a very good example.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that because initially when the my session started with Suchitra ma'am, there were five of us in the class, and I always used to come up with some reasons avoiding the class or not attending it. Something or the other used to come up, and ma'am is just like my head of the department, who I really miss, my Vakaria sir. He used to always come with a stick in his hand to say कि नहीं करना ही है तुमको कैसे जा सकते हो. So she was actually behind me.
I think I need somebody like that.
No, which really made me feel कि a person who doesn't know me so well is trying to help me, and I am not trying to help myself. So this is where I felt कि no, I need to help myself because she's already giving me a hand. And I need to catch it because she's not giving me a helping hand where she's going to help me. She's going to teach me to help myself. So this is where it came up, and then I was a regular student, and I really did well. I think Sushmita ma'am can say that I was.
Yes. She's one of my best
she,
students. I have to say that.
she has changed. She has changed. She
Yeah.
has seen the change in me.
Oh God, drastic change. Drastic change. And you're more comfortable being you, is what
Yeah.
I see. Yes?
Yes.
You were always yourself. You continue to be yourself. But कि भाई मेरे में ये खराब है या ये कमी है या whatever किसी ने बोल दिया तो क्रिटिसाइज फील कर लिया, इंसल्ट फील कर लिया, फिर अपने आप को बदलने की कोशिश की, and in that you get messed up,
Yeah,
stressed up, and that shows in your behavior.
yes,
I think a lot of that has changed. और छोटा छोटा
yes.
changes. In fact, I must tell you, Karina, I love that example that she went through. She's saying that some neighbor का कुछ लीकेज का कुछ प्रॉब्लम वगैरह था, तो उसको बोलने गई, राइट, बिल्डिंग में.
Yes.
Or the way she talked to him, he kind of welcomed her and showed her the place कि हाँ ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है, okay, we will get it done, and everything happened so nicely. And he was coming back and saying, hey, how did I do this? Usually I would go and have a fight. कि तुम्हारे घर में से हमारे घर में पानी आता है. And everything was managed so beautifully. Now just imagine in day-to-day life for this to happen.
Yes.
The change has happened from within. Your whole perception of the situation was different. You didn't go with that anger and harshness in your voice. It just didn't come. You understood that, okay, उनको भी तो तकलीफ है. उनको नहीं पता है तो एटलीस्ट इन्फॉर्म कर रहे हैं. प्यार से बात की तो उसने भी सुन लिया. और मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा कि she talked so nicely, you see. बाद में समझ में आया कि अरे I did it this way and it is so good.
Because it was natural enough for her to do it.
हाँ. So that is changing the klishta vritti into a klishta. Removing the emotional charge from it. Feeling it, but feeling it positively.
Yes.
You didn't miss being angry, right? Vaishali?
No.
You didn't miss the fight.
No. But now it has changed a lot, ma'am. I mean, now my perception to look at things has changed absolutely. Because now I start thinking, अगर मैं वहां पे होती तो मैं क्या सोचती? अगर कोई मुझे ये बोलता तो मैं क्या react करती? What would be my reaction?
You developed an additional level of thinking. Excellent.
Empathy.
Very good.
So,
I'm so happy.
Okay, fine. If I have hurt somebody, so it is very obvious that person will retaliate back. So how can I comfort that person? So there was another technique that Suchitra ma'am had told us. I think those 4 magical sentences. And I make it a point because I used to feel that I missed doing some things for my mother. I should have done, or why did I reply back her so rudely, or maybe with a firm voice? So I shouldn't have done. So now I regularly stand in front of her and I just close my eyes and I just say the four magical sentences, and the resentment or whatever that feeling was there in me that I did not do as a daughter has gone off. And I actually feel that she has a smiling face and
Oh, wow.
she's happy.
That's
So
nice,
this
Vaishali.
feeling
That's
feeling is
completing your connection
absolutely
with her.
wonderful.
I'm
It
so
is
happy.
really very
Thank you.
good.
Thank you for sharing this.
This
Thank
is
you for
like
sharing this.
thank you, ma'am, for giving me this technique, because this is something which was absolutely amazing. And then I started using these four sentences with every person whom I must have felt that I have hurt that person by saying these words at a particular time, maybe 2 years back, 10 years back, 15 years back. And I try to take that particular incident. I try to say sorry for that particular incident to that particular person, and it is दिमाग का डस्टर वाइप हो जाता है वो सब. बहुत सुकून मिलता है कि ओके, आई मीन आई रियली फील सॉरी दैट तभी मैंने शायद गलत किया था, तभी मैं नहीं जानती थी कि मेरा इतना भी वर्ड उसको इतना हर्ट करेगा कि मे बी it has ruined his dreams or her dreams or whatever they may be thinking. So then I should be sorry. I should feel bad, because अगर मुझे कोई कहता तो मुझे कैसे लगता.
I also did that because as a teacher, I was very, very strict. I thought it's my responsibility to discipline my students, and I used to be really strict. So when I
remember
learned
that
this,
ruler in your hand also.
my God. So I did a lot of cleaning of that. I did a lot of cleaning of that. And I am sure it has helped me as well as my students to release me. They must be thinking of me only as, but I really had to work a lot at it. Even today, sometimes कोई instance ऐसा याद आ जाता है कि how difficult I must have been for my students. So I just clean up that past.
Ma'am, actually it's correct. You just said that you are being released.
Yes.
So that particular thing I am experiencing now कि मैंने किसी को कुछ कहा तो वो कहीं तो जाके है
अटक
रुका
गया है।
हुआ, और वो अटकना अच्छा नहीं है. तो
अच्छा
if मेरा मन से उसको सॉरी बोलने से अगर वो अटकन दूर हो जाती है, if I am
It
released,
does happen. Understand,
even that
this
person is
entire
released.
universe is one energy. We are transforming that energy constantly with our actions and thoughts and everything. So if any particular thing that we have done negative, it becomes a block. अब जैसे वो बोलते हैं ना, हार्ट में ब्लॉक और ब्रेन में ब्लॉक और वो स्ट्रोक होता है, तो छोटा होता है तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं देता, लेकिन बार बार वैसा ही नेगेटिव करते जाओ, उसके ऊपर अटकता जाएगा, तो फिर तो वो टोटल ब्लॉक हो जाएगा, तो फिर तो मुश्किल होनी है, फिर वो डिजीजेस होती हैं. Then they show up as pain and illnesses in the body. They destroy whichever is the weak sense, weak organ in our system starts getting affected. So those energy blocks we are only creating around us and in us. So इकट्ठा नहीं करके जब भी अक्कल आती है उसको क्लीनिंग कर लो, इसलिए दिमाग का डस्टर.
Because they are also releasing us from the negative that they have thought towards me. So when they are releasing me, I am feeling good about it.
और हो सकता है कि तुम ही ने पकड़ा हो, उसको तो खाली दुख हो रहा है, तुमने छोड़ दिया तो वो फ्री हो गया. होता है ना.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so I expect a call from you, my dear. You take my number. You have my number. नहीं तो रीना से ले ले and ring me up.
Yes.
And we will get connected on this. You have to join this next. Either you join the course or you take your personal sessions, and we can work that out. Okay?
Thank you.
But connect with
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy that you are there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow
Bye.
again.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.